So we work with about 6,500 clients, and we work very closely with about 1,200 families, which means we meet them at least once a year, several of them say once a quarter. So over the past 18 years, we've had the privilege of helping many of their clients to achieve great things in their life. So if it is hard for me to pick one success story. So what I thought may be of use would be to reflect a little bit on the many success stories that I have been fortunate to observe and say, what is it that is common across these? Because just like Shrikant started, he said, who is the better actor, Om Puri or Shah Rukh Khan? Well, Om Puri is the better actor, we all know that, but who is the better marketer? Clearly Shah Rukh Khan is the better marketer. What's the relevance of that for us? Not only do we need to be good at our job, but we also need to be good at telling people that we are good so that they trust us and start working with us, right? What is the best way to tell someone that we are good and that we can be trusted with their money? To me, there is many things you can say about yourself. You can talk about the process, you can talk about the results you have achieved, etc., etc. But we have found that what really sticks in people's mind is stories like that. If you are able to talk about how you've been able to make positive influence in people's lives, it's very powerful. So these stories are like treasure. If you have 10, 15, 20 stories to tell about how you've been able to make a positive influence in somebody's life, it is like treasure. You should treat it like treasure. So let's just spend a little bit of time thinking about these stories and where they come from. And that's what I did over the last one day as preparation for this. I was saying, well, where do these stories come from? Where are they born? How do they, give fruit? And in our industry, as many of you know, we tend to use the doctor analogy a lot, right? We say we are financial doctors. We are the, what we do is, like you go to a doctor when you are feeling not very well. When you think you need help with your money, come to us. We are like financial doctors, right? We've used this analogy a lot, right? But what is the big advantage of a doctor? The big advantage that a doctor has is, if you go to the doctor with a problem, the doctor influences your life at that point. The result is felt very, very quickly. You get better. These circumstances are market related, and two of these circumstances are personal life related. So let's just spend a little bit of time thinking about this. I have some time. Let's just spend a little bit of time thinking about this. When it comes to market related, where is that story going to be born that this financial advisor I worked with really saved my life? Where is that story going to come from? That story is going to come from one of two very important emotions. If the person is stuck in the middle of great greed, or they are stuck in the middle of great fear, and you are lucky enough to be able to engage with that client at that point, great story. You're planting a seed now, 3 years, 5 years later, that client will go, thank God, I met my financial advisor because he put his hand on my shoulder and said, calm down. Right? So let's just look at that. Suppose 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, people were trying to figure out where to put their money. And we all know in this room that there was a lot of interest in small cap. Right? Because the story around small cap, 2 years, 3 years, fantastic returns. And you had a chance to talk to that customer at that point and put your hand on that shoulder and say, no, I don't think this is right for you now. It's a bit of a bubble. Before SEBI chairman said, if you had said, today, I was saying it takes 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, but 1 week later, you're looking a little bit like a genius. Because you were able to advise the customer that, no, don't be too greedy. People make money, yes, but now is not a good time. Right? So if you are able to play a role at a point in time where the person is very greedy and say, calm down, I don't think this is the right answer for you, great story can be born. Second story is when there is great fear. And I'm sure we've all been there through COVID, right? In October 2020, what were you talking to your client? But I was there with Sudhindra, I had a chance to speak to him. He told me, yeah, don't worry, we will make it through this. And then of course they made it through this 7 years later. That person is talking about Sudhindra as if Sudhindra is God. Right? Another story is born. And finally, the fourth category of story, which can be really helpful, is that story that is told when a customer has ambitions and dreams and goals that they are not able to figure out how to do. Very common, right? You have clients who want to send their children overseas for higher studies. Is it possible? Is it not possible? No idea. But they want that, right? Another client wants to stop working at 50 and start working with an NGO because they don't like their job as much. They are passionate about this NGO and the influence that they have. Can they do it? Can they not do it? Again, no way to think about it, no way to process that. But there again, a story is born. Right? You are there, you are saying, don't worry, work for 5 more years, work for 7 more years. After that, I will give you the guarantee that you can quit your job and start working for this NGO because you'll be all right. And I'll be there to help you through that whole process. Again, a great story is born. Now, all of these are not hypothetical. These are broad categories, but many, many stories in each of these categories we've been having the fortune of helping. From the market perspective, greed and fear. From the individual perspective, great calamity or great ambition. Whatever be the circumstance, if you are there at the right time, the story will write itself. You will have your terrific marketer because you don't have to tell that story. They will tell it for you. They will walk around and tell the story of Shrikant's success, Sudhindra's success, Deepesh's success. So I didn't want to narrate one story, I just wanted to give you a framework for how to think about it, because this is